The test audience didn't like it, and if they didn't like Crypto being punched and Superman, then they're definitely not going to like what happened in Woman of Tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
I've got my boys Peter and Stanley here, and I just made them read their first ever Supergirl comic. No cherry picking, no easing them in. Right before the movie hits, I chose Woman of Tomorrow. By the end of this conversation, I need answers to 3 things. Did this story actually make them care about Supergirl? Are they now excited for the movie? And most importantly, can we call this the definitive Kara Zor-El? Because if this book can change their minds, then maybe Supergirl deserves a lot more patience than she's getting. Yeah, I enjoyed Woman of Tomorrow. There's a lot of, controversy around this book because some people are saying that it's like the definitive version of Kara, where others are like, this is not Supergirl. This has nothing to do with Supergirl. And if you've read the Supergirl that they've been trying to propose to us since 2005, this is right up her alley.
I think I like this version of Supergirl, but it's definitely not the Supergirl that I've read in the past. Like the old classic Supergirls. This is definitely not the same Supergirl.
Well, it was different. It was a different, like starting it off right off of the bat. It was not the pill that I was expecting to swallow. I was expecting grape flavored, and I got orange. Like, but I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it.
I thought this was a great story.
There's some flaws, but
there's a lot of stuff to. One of the things about this book that I actually enjoyed was reading it and being kind of surprised at how much I enjoyed reading it, right? And the artwork. There's a lot of points because I like to look at the artwork, and there's a lot of things that I like about this artwork, and a couple of things I don't like. But on the whole, it was actually nice reading a comic book that was visually appealing to me.
Does feel good on the whole,
because I'm a stickler when it comes to like anything post 90s comic books. Mm-hmm. I'm real critical of a lot of the artwork because I think
hands down, this book is beautiful. Anybody that tries to argue that just needs to get out because
there's a good dynamic.
There is no leg to stand on saying that this book looks horrible. This book is gorgeous. I absolutely love the colors. I love the artistic fluid style of it. I think it's one of the more unique art styles I've seen for a comic.
There are moments where when the artist is failing or rushing, the colorist comes in and picks it up and saves it. Like they work really well together.
Good balance. Yeah. And there's like a raw scratch to some of it that I really liked. Like it takes it out of the realm of like, let's make this look absolutely perfect, like CGI perfect. And it makes it more it's a piece of art. You can see where it's like pencil scratches and stuff on it. And I like that. Like it works.
Comic books to me are supposed to be like art. Yeah,
exactly.
And so it's nice reading something that does look like a piece of artwork and not just something AI.
Yeah, this isn't Jim Lee. This is unique.
It actually kind of works because this is kind of a girly story. Like I could see how this story.
What do you expect?
Of course, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a girl's title.
It's a girl's title, and it's kind of a girly vibe to it. It was actually a decent story, but I could see how I could hand this to my daughters, and they might be Supergirl fans.
Here's something that'll blow your mind. Okay, Supergirl was created to give female readers.
Hold on a second.
Holy shit!
What are
Wait
those?
a minute. Say that again.
What's that?
Supergirl was created to bring in female audiences.
What?
Oh my god, it reads like a chick book. Oh, you just blew my mind. Holy crap.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of funny because even though it's Supergirl, you only hear about guys bitching about it, right?
Yes. That's the whole thing. Oh, this isn't my Supergirl. This is not how it works.
This isn't my Supergirl.
Of course you would. You'd make her that super jailbait back from 2005 with the mini skirt and the crop top.
But that's why they gave us Power Girl, right? So that we can have our
so
Power
that we
Girl.
Still have that, and then the girls can have Supergirl. Let them
right.
It was a test, anyways, to see if they could get girls to read comic books and give a shit about them, which failed. Which is why men took it and were like, "Well, I'll take it. I'll like this comic book." You know.
Well, see, that's one of the things about this comic book is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow does not reflect the Silver Age Supergirl that so many people say that they have read over the years.
Yeah.
If you read this is very much Supergirl from 2005 to now. Okay.
I never read Supergirl, but after having read this, a few things. I can see where they're going with this character in the movies, upcoming movies.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like it. I think that's a good direction because
100%.
I have read bits and pieces of the old Supergirl. I was never like a Supergirl fan. I didn't really care. I thought the TV show was all right, I guess, because I wanted to watch it with my kids.
Yeah, we watched it. That was a fun family thing we could watch with the daughter.
Same here. I watched it with the daughters, and they enjoyed it, and then it made me happy. So I sat down and fell asleep. But it's not like the classic Supergirl, which I kind of like. In fact, this particular story, I'm not familiar with any of the other Supergirl stuff. Anything from in between 2005 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This one I actually do like. I like the character. There's a few things that I feel like there's a disconnect because I tend to focus on the artwork, and because I'm looking at it and I'm like going,
well, being
okay,
an artist,
I'm an artist, so I'm looking at this going like, I'm reading it. I'm not feeling that what I'm reading is the character that I'm looking at. Like there's a disconnect to me between what I'm looking at and what I'm reading about.
Yeah.
But I think that's where this movie that people are also complaining, oh, she's not pretty enough. Well, first of all, that girl's just fine in the movie. She's going to be just fine. But she also fits that character better than I would say the art does in this book, which
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Millie
I think the art
Alcock
was pretty good.
Millie Alcock. I think she's old enough to where I can say this now without anybody coming at me. I think she's more of that cinematic beautiful more than Sydney Sweeney. Okay. Sydney Sweeney, the only thing that people are coming from is her taking her top off in Euphoria. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Her acting. Yeah.
Before, I remember that one.
Whatever. Millie Alcock.
About her acting.
Better
She's
actor or not, I think Millie Alcock has that more unique version. She has a more unique face than Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney,
well,
if it wasn't for Euphoria,
yeah,
you wouldn't give her a second glance if she was walking down the street.
1 hour later.
Where Helen Slater and Melissa Benoit were more like the old school, like Supergirl, right? The Silver Age comics,
indistinguishable from like Wonder Woman from the.
They looked more like the traditional Supergirl.
Yeah,
Millie Alcock, very much New 52. Millie Alcock's New 52 written all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I didn't read any Supergirl New 52 stuff, but
you know how these people like their receipts. So hang on one second. Let me.
but I will say that as far as like kind of getting, if you want to add some personality to a character, one of the problems with a lot of the classic Golden Age comic books is that there's like they all have almost the exact same personality. The old Wonder Woman, Supergirl, it's like the classic girl.
So I have my receipts of Supergirl. Okay. Yes, you do see Ollie stickers on some of these. So
we're a real Supergirl fan.
Oh, that's how you know he read them.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Jake.
All right. I've done my Supergirl homework. Nobody's going to say shit that I don't know Supergirl.
Wait, didn't you just finish saying that this is for girls?
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm tired of people that say that they have an opinion on Supergirl when they haven't read one goddamn thing about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
and it can be like
annoying.
There's plenty of examples of media out there that are like 4 girls or 4 boys, and that doesn't mean that like it's automatically alienating to the opposite gender. You know, there's plenty of stuff out there that, you know, my wife is loves Terminator 2.
Right.
That's fine.
Hell
Barbie
yeah.
was, that was a movie that was intended for a female demographic.
Right.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
but you
trying
know
to
what?
throw up on my way out of there.
I did like that movie though, especially Ryan Gosling. When he's like discovering the patriarchy was like the best part of that whole, and the
Yeah, it
horses. The horses were fucking epic, dude. That whole horse thing was like, I forgot how badass horses were.
It's okay because Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow has a horse in there for you. So
There you go.
plays to all audiences.
And a dog. There's only two things a man needs:
but
it's a horse and a dog, and a saddle gun.
So I understand that the Disney princess needs her animal companion. That's just a trope that we got to do. Oh my God, I hate that dog. Like, I just don't like it. I'm not saying take him out. I'm not saying you need to rewrite it for me. I'm not saying anything like that. I just don't like that dog. That's the one I was looking at. Yes. And 2 panels before that, like a page or 2 before that.
Page.
The
Yeah.
page
dude.
before it.
Well, there's like right here. The
Zoom in
dog
on
is
the
like,
right.
oh shit!
That is some Scooby-Doo shit right there.
There, bum, 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 bum. Like, okay, like, you gotta put that Price is Right music. Bum, 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 bum.
That might need to be your thumbnail.
That's what that face says. Oh shit! Supergirl.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Oh, that sword just dodged Supergirl and is going straight for that dog's head. Bum, 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 bum.
I kind of want that as like a t-shirt.
But
and then it's easy to this is actually not so bad. I don't like the eyelashes. That's what it is. You know what it is? It's the artwork. Everybody's got
they gave
these,
a male dog eyelashes.
It's the mascara eyes, dude. They all have fucking heavy mascara on their eyes. Everybody, every character, even the men. There's a panel later with your horse guy that he looks very feminine. It's mostly the lips and the eyes that do it. But I do like Supergirl. Like, I like the way they draw her in this whole scene. Mostly, she's kind of pretty and.
Yeah, okay. I have an issue, like I think you do too. You got some issues with the face. You don't see them quite as much in these panels here, although some of the issues I have are present. But we'll be getting on that in just a minute. We'll cover that more in some of these future panels.
Now, so when it comes to story, what did you guys think of it? Like, Supergirl's out, at a bar or a saloon on a different planet that's under a red sun and everything. So she loses her powers, which is brought up in Superman, James Gunn's Superman, so she can get drunk. It's her 21st birthday. She wants to get sloshed, but we all know the reason why. She's got so much riding on her shoulders all the time that she just wants to get out there and let off some steam. I think that's fine. But these people that think that this is Supergirl throughout the entire thing are utterly ridiculous and show me that they have not read anything.
They want Supergirl that's chaste, that's pure, and they want that golden age, but that's not. This is more deep. This is like a deeper character. And her character arc throughout this whole story is pretty good. Like, she actually has one, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like, I'm part of the Krypton, I'm Superman's cousin, and we're just gonna saddle up here on Earth. It's like, so we're just gonna do.
Which is what I was expecting coming into it.
Yeah, it's like they actually have like some depth. This isn't even about Earth. This is like just her. It's like I like that too. It's like her adventure. She's on an adventure. It's like her story. It's a fun little. It's not even her adventure. It's that other girl's adventure.
It's a character-driven narrative, like going over like a quest for revenge and trying to figure
Conan
out like
girls.
what your where your morals are. Is this vengeance? Is this justice? And it's quaint, but it works. It's okay. Like, they actually have those storytelling elements in there, and I'm good with that. Like, no, it's not like, the deepest story I ever read in my life, but when you combine some pretty good artwork with a decent enough story, and there is actually like you said, like character arcs throughout. Like I'm good with this. I'm all right with it.
Yeah, it's like Xena meets Conan for girls.
Kind of, because when the dynamic, I absolutely love the dynamic between Ruthie and Kara, right?
Yep.
Because Kara is very reserved in wanting to take on this job of helping this little girl find vengeance for her father's death. But she sees that pain in Ruthie because she lived it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruthie's father was her whole world. She taught her father taught her how to till the land, how to maintain the farm, how to do all these different tasks. Her father was him in her eyes, right? This man led the family. He was in control of everything on that farm. And then this man named Krim comes in and totally takes that away from her. So she loses her whole world. And she is just in agony and anger, and she wants to take it out on the man that took him away from her. And guess what? Supergirl can relate to that. She not only lost her father, she lost her mother, she lost her entire race,
and her home
and
planet.
she was forced off world. She didn't, it wasn't her option. Her dad said, "Get the hell out of here because I don't want to see this happen to you." For both of them, it happened in a blink of an eye. So Supergirl being now 21, where that happened when she was 14, around the same age as Ruthie, she knows the years that she's going to be agonizing and think about this throughout her whole life. And so Supergirl's like reluctant, but she does it. And while she's taking her across this galactic journey, she's showing humility, she's showing grace, she's showing mercy to all these different people and species that they interact with, trying to find Krim. Hopefully having that be instilled in Ruthie as they go along, because they know at the end Ruthie's going to come to a head and meet Krim again, but Supergirl doesn't want her to kill him.
Now, there is a disconnect that I was kind of, I don't know. I was reading it and I was like, okay, this is like a weird thing, because there is this wholesome, like, superhero aspect to Supergirl, even from the beginning. She's not a drunken, like, loser that has to discover herself, like rediscover and become a hero. It's not like that. Like, she's a good person who just decided to go. It's like, I want to go get drunk and be like kind of a shithead for a little bit. That didn't work for me. I like the idea of her being more tortured and like suffering and being a drunk and all this stuff. That makes more sense. That's why I like
layers to that character.
Yeah, then I'm actually a good person. It's like, okay, so you're just a good person who's having an off day, or I don't know. That was a weird disconnect for me, where I think the movie is correcting that. You know, sometimes movies have the ability in hindsight to correct things that don't really work, and I didn't like the fact that it's like, no, hold on a minute, I'm a drunk buffoon piece of shit right now, but I'm actually really a good person. You just wait until I'm sober. That's typical girl mentality right there.
What are you talking about? She was still like trying to stop the fight and everything in the bar.
Yeah, by being a bully.
Good.
She didn't try to. She had the ability to stop the fight. She bullied.
She was under a red sun.
She was trying to start a fight, but then she's like, goes over. You know, she's like trying to get out of there, and then a girl's like, "Hey, I need your help." And she's like, "Look, I'm actually a good person, and I really don't want to see you go down this road." It's like there's like a weird flip, you know, in character. Like, I'm seeing a girl who likes to brawl in bars, which, again, artwork wise, that didn't work. That didn't fit the character I'm looking at. Right, I'm reading about.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's like instantly like a superhero. She's already a superhero. But she does have things to kind of learn and grow from. So it did eventually kind of self-correct that. But that was a little bit of a weird disconnect. I think that where the movie might fix, because it's more interesting to read about how, she became. It's like Thor, right? Thor was a screw up, and it's fun to watch how he becomes the hero. It's the hero's journey kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with these girl books and these girl stories is that they're the hero, and we're supposed to what do you call that? Where you suspend disbelief that just for the moment she wants to be an anti-hero, so we're allowing her this time to be an anti-hero so that she can then get back to being the hero. There's no real story there in that regard.
What?
You know what I mean? Did you get what I'm saying?
Because through the whole beginning, she was like, I don't want to start anything. I don't want to fight. I'm here on my 21st birthday. I just want to party, have a good time, and get the hell out of here.
I'll fuck you up.
Give the girl her sword back, yada, yada, yada. Then the guy's like, hey, I'm taking this sword. You're a woman. Get out of my way. And Supergirl's like,
different than that. She
Supergirl's
did grab the guy's arm and say, give her back her sword or I'm going to fuck you up. That's kind of how, which is why you instantly think she's like a badass. She's a Wolverine, right? But she's not a Wolverine. She's like a Cyclops.
Hear that comparison.
Yeah, No. You're not understanding what I'm saying. She's not Wolverine. Her first introduction into the story is give her sword back, and then or I'm gonna give it to her. And the guy's like, listen, woman, and then she's like, all right, and then like bar fight, she kicks his ass. It's not like,
so hold
pardon
on.
me, sir. Could you please give the woman her sword back? I wouldn't want to have to give you a proper thropping.
You're telling me that you have the same demeanor when you're drunk as you do when you're sober? I'm going to call BS.
No, but what I'm saying is when this is our introduction to the character, so she's supposed to be introduced as this badass, but she's not. She's like, I'm just here to get drunk today because it's my birthday today, but I'm actually a hero. By the way, I'm Supergirl. I'm a hero. Maybe you heard of me. Super God powers.
I don't know, dude. There's been times when I've been at bars and somebody wants to start up something and they size me up and I size them up right back. And I'm like, all right, just throw the first one because I can tell you're hammered and I'm going to be like Neo from the Matrix.
But she's
because I've only had one drink.
But this isn't, but she's a hero. She's like a good person. She's like a good, and she just happens to start the story. It's like if you're going to have the story post, her get like there's the story of her becoming a good person and the hero, and then there's the story of her, like, where she starts off on her lowest of lows, and then because her planet's blown up, kind of like she's depicted in the movie, and then she becomes Supergirl, the hero. She's already Supergirl, the hero in this story.
Yeah, so she doesn't have that. So, this isn't her origin story.
This isn't her origin of becoming a hero. So like starting her off as like this badass, I get this is how we understand she's got superpowers, but
I can kind of agree with you, but I don't at the same time because again, I'm taking this story from what I've read from 2005 to now, right? Where she is the reluctant hero. Like she doesn't.
I haven't
want
read the 2005.
No, you're fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm just coming from a different perspective. Is that in 2005 and New 52, she's reluctant to help out sometimes, but she does it because everybody points at the crest that's sitting on her breast. They're like, you wear the S. This is what you're supposed to do. And she's like,
there is in comparison
family
with
crest. Why do I always wear this thing? And then she goes and does it, but she does it to no end. She still pulls through. That's
so there's some strange correlation, like the way that they represent her in the movie that you see in the Superman movie and then in the Supergirl trailer that they have coming out. There's a heavy emphasis on I'm not Superman, like I'm just his cousin, and it's Superman, and like there's a lot of reference to Superman, which they don't do in this. She's her own person. She's not the drunkard that she appears to be in the movies. And I'm not against that element of it in the movies. Like we'll see how it goes. I think that it's a fine approach.
I think it works better in the movie.
Yeah, I think that's okay. But I do like how this is a Supergirl series. It doesn't start off with Superman believes in everyone.
Yeah,
Or
I do agree
whatever
with
that monologue was.
Yeah. I agree
No,
with that.
so-
This is a Supergirl
Yeah.
story, and it doesn't have to do with based off of like. It's like weird to say, but it's like it's not based off of Superman. Boys, this is Supergirl's story. We don't need to have it. It's like
I don't know if
what
they
is that
said it
called?
like that, but
Straw Man or whatever. It's like where it's a Supergirl story, but let's be real, folks. This is a Superman spinoff. No, it's a Supergirl story, totally, and I like that. That is it's a cool, unique story.
For the sake of argument, I thought people were tired of derivatives of other heroes. When it comes to showing Supergirl like taking time out of her own day to like help others, that's where I think it shines through for Supergirl. It's not said to you. It's not even like Ruthie gives some narrative to where like Supergirl is helping people out and everything. And we see it when she goes to that small town that's kind of been annihilated, where all the purples were destroyed so the blues could, take over. I don't know if you guys got to that part yet, because I've read the whole thing and you guys have read.
I did not get through
it.
the whole series. I got through several issues and then
I bounced around. Like I went through the whole thing, but I
forward.
bounced around so much. The story's not a cohesive A to B for me.
Right. So there are parts of this journey where they go to different planets and they go to small towns on these planets and they help out people while they're still trying to locate Krem. Krem's been to these places, so they're right on his tail. They're going to catch up to him, which is what takes place at the end of the book, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is about this one instance, but there's this one moment in the book, and it's only like maybe 2 pages, where she comes up on this female alien. I forget the species of the name, like Thanagarian or Tanagarian or something like that. It made me think of Starfire as Tamaranian, but this alien looks nothing like Tamaranian. This is like, and I thought Hungarian was like the Hawks for some reason. But anyway, this alien monster or whatever, Krem came through, destroyed her family and her people, and Supergirl is just looking up at her because this alien is towering her, right? And Supergirl is just like, I know that you're been out of shape. I know you've got a lot of anger in you. You need to let it out. And the monster is just looking at her like, you're so tiny. And it's not explicit in why she's calling her so tiny. And then after like the second or third time, Supergirl's like, just do it already. And she's like, but you're small. The alien's like, but you're small. She said, just do it. What is wrong with you? And finally, after Supergirl chastises this monster for so long, immediately just starts hammering down on Supergirl like nonstop. And after like the dust is settled and everything, Supergirl just looks up at her like, you feel better? She was like helping this person work through their trauma of just seeing that their people were annihilated and giving an outlet for that anger. And since Supergirl could take a beating, she stood there and let this monster just pummel her.
That is a wonderful like lesson.
I don't know what it is.
Take it,
out
you
of
should.
all the other instances where she's helped out people to get work done for whatever reason, that moment stood out to me the greatest because to me it had the most emotion behind it.
Yeah, I can see that. So they had in
I could play devil's advocate on that note, but go ahead.
I got a more literary like reference on this. So in To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the things that Gregory Peck says, who is one of the all-time greatest cinematic heroes.
That was a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it was. And he's like the all-time greatest like hero of a movie. But he says there are some men who are meant to do the things that nobody else can do, something like that. Like basically, like he was the lawyer in the story, and he was taking on the case for the African American that nobody was going to stand up for. He was going to be the lawyer for him because nobody else could do that task. And, you know, everybody was hating him for it, but he had to do it, and he was going to do it, and he was going to do it as good as he's supposed to do it. To me, this is a very similar approach where, you know, Supergirl has a thing that, you know, she can offer and that she can do, and she's going to do it for you. And that's just like, in both cases, like I've seen it for boys now with Gregory Peck. I like that there is a female version that now, you know, Supergirl is giving a female reader for the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Now,
I like that.
It's also a little self-aggrandizing, and kind of girly to think,
what the hell are you on about?
well, I just get beat up all the time. I'm just here to get beat up by everybody else. That's a kind of like girl way to think.
Yeah, it is, in a good way.
It's
because
not bad.
like,
I'm not
think
knocking
about
it,
like,
but it's like girls
I have a
tend
hard
to,
day
like,
at work. I want to come home and I'm going to vent to my wife, and I need my wife's shoulder, and I need her compassion, and I need all of those like feminine things that she provides that I cannot provide. If my daughter comes home, if I had a son who came home and had a bad day,
right,
if he needs to vent about that day, he needs to go, you know, he would need to go to his mom. He would need to go to my wife for that. Because I'm not going to be able to provide that, not in the way that she can. If he's having a really bad day and he needs to punch the shit out of something, I got your back.
Yeah,
Punch the shit, I got that. But if you need that emotional element, you know, like that's
it. I guess it works. It's like a motherly thing, I guess. But I don't know. Like, do you sit there and? Well, I guess my point would be like,
do I sit there and like pound? Like,
why
no.
take like who? It's a cool idea, but Tom King, right? He wrote this story.
yeah.
Really good at writing from the perspective of a woman. That's all I'm saying. Because that is totally a way a girl would think. I just worked a long day. I just got home and did your laundry, cooked your dinner, and listened to your shitty day. Do you care about my shitty day? I got beat up by people all day long, and now I'm here cooking you dinner and doing your laundry. And does anyone care how I feel?
Is he married? I'm looking it up now.
I don't know. That's kind of like when you say that. I not to knock. I know you'll like, and it is cool. It's a cool concept that she allowed herself to get beat up just for the sake of somebody else letting off some steam. But that's how girls think. They think just by listening to somebody bitch about their day,
and I think that's a
they're
good
getting
thing.
beat, but they're getting beaten up. Like
Not
that's
beaten up. I'm not saying like yes,
this
they
is a
should be able
visual
to, like, you know,
this is
dot
a
that I. I'm not
visual
saying that.
interpretation of the idea that women, they listen to somebody talk about their day, but to them it's like taking on the pain of that person's day by having listened to it.
What the I don't know how to respond, but did you see Batman Forever?
Bastard! It should have been you! It's your fault! If you'd have told Two-Face you weren't the circus, they'd still be alive!
If Bruce Wayne could have given his life for your family, he would have.
And
That's a little
finally,
different.
when he's gassed out, he's like, if
Okay.
Batman could have laid down his life for your family, he would have.
But that's when a man lets the other boy, like the young lad, beat it because he literally doesn't hurt him at all. It's not that he's letting him. He's not like it's not like some
he's sitting there blocking the shit.
Okay, look, it's not some
But he's letting him
gigantic
let steam
monster doing it because that's a metaphor for women having to listen to somebody's problems, somebody other than their own problems.
Oh my
reference, Jake. I love the reference, but I'm afraid I can't.
It's
I
the
can't.
exact
I cannot
same
honor
thing.
a
It's not
reference.
the
from
same
Batman
thing.
Forever.
It is the same thing.
All right, pull up my screen. This is what I'm talking about.
You did it. You invited this.
This is a metaphor for women having to listen to your day. Okay?
No.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
how my
like-
day looks like.
No.
You got two women. They were just doing their thing. They're having to listen to your fucking day, and it's so fucking hard for them. It's like a big giant monster. All Batman did was fucking put on his armor. He put his armor up against Robin, who's a little boy, punching him. I hate you, Batman. I hate you. Wah, wah, wah. But that's not the same thing. Because it's not like it was
son of a bitch.
into the fucking big monster.
Go ahead. Also a good reference, Peter. Like
Zoom
this is a cute reference.
Go ahead.
But
Zoom in on that one more time. Zoom in on that.
Yep, zoom in.
Okay. Dumbass. Superman just did that for a dog in the Superman movie from James Gunn. That's the exact same scene with the little
difference.
With the little difference.
That was a metaphorical reference to the right wing needing the defense of the prime minister.
Oh God!
Something. I
don't think it's the same thing. Supergirl allowing some monster to beat on her just to let off some steam is not the same thing as Batman having saved Robin and taken him back to the Bat lair, and Robin being like, "You son of a bitch!" Boom, boom, boom. Like get blown. It's not quite the same. It's different context when it's a girl doing it and a guy doing it.
Really?
Because girls are doing it for their own reasons. Batman's just trying to drive home. He's just fucking driving home, and Robin is throwing a temper tantrum, and he has to fucking just like, what, bro? I'm fucking driving here. It's like, you ever fucking driven with your kids in the car, and they're like,
God.
Oh, daddy, I want to stop. I gotta pee, daddy. I'm hungry, daddy. Go get me some. And you're just like, shut up, damn it! And then you're trying to drive. That's Batman. It's not the same as Wonder Woman.
No. In both instances, Dick Grayson's parents just died, and that anger was coming out of him, and he was striking Batman, and Batman was sitting there taking it, letting him get his grievances out. And then in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the alien just lost her family, and Supergirl's sitting there letting her pummel her to let her get the anger out.
Yep.
That is a parallel. That is not.
It's parallel, but the difference is that Batman didn't get beaten into the ground, right? That's like a Supergirl didn't have to be beaten into the ground.
Supergirl didn't get beaten into the ground either.
The ground was. They were both equally able to take it.
Yeah, Supergirl was sitting there. You good? Did you guys notice any Easter eggs from past Supergirl stories that took place in the book?
Yeah, you're going to be my reference on this. I didn't pick up on it.
I am not a Supergirl reader.
Okay. So a lot of people online have been having issues with the duster, the trench coat that Supergirl wears.
I like the
trench
coat.
Mm-hmm. I like it too.
And my whole thing is that is a callback to when she first arrived on Earth in Superman Batman, the Supergirl of Krypton, or the animated film Batman Superman Apocalypse, Superman Batman Apocalypse. Because when she arrives on Earth in those stories, it's very similar to Kyle Reese from Terminator. Blown into Gotham Bay, comes out naked. She runs through the streets or the alleyway. She gets a duster from a homeless man or something, and now she's running away because she's scared and this is not her world. She doesn't know what to do, and she's wearing a trench coat through that whole interaction. I think that duster is a callback to that, and that's why it's there in this book, and it's why it's there in the James Gunn film. Because
aesthetically, it actually looks really good against those like the colors of her costume.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good ensemble outfit.
Yeah, it's a really well done character design. And so if it is like a callback, that's a good kudos to the callback, but also making it, because those aren't the same like tones of red and blue and yellow as it's obviously more like, I don't even know what you'd call them, the like brighter, prettier colors in this book as opposed to the original. More vibrant, and so that brown duster does kind of contrast those colors a lot, but it works. It's like a good color scheme. I like it. Good colorist.
Yeah.
And then Crypto, of course, he's a callback to it, and I'm actually glad that this book kind of takes him out of the story right from the get-go.
Very well done on that. The writing on that
I hope to God
Now,
that
hold on
happens
a
in the
minute.
movies because I hated Krypto and Superman.
I did too.
That's
I'm not saying write him out. I'm
All
not
right.
being that guy. But
This is-
man, I did
Oh,
not
write
like
him
that
out.
dog.
Put that arrow
Dude,
through him.
there's a couple of things to that. There's one thing when an actor or an actress can make you hate them, right? That's a good actor, good actress. But when you have a CGI character that makes you hate them, it's double hate because not only do I hate the fact that I hate this character, but it's
they
not
put
because
so much
they're
effort.
It's not because they're a good actor or actress. It's because of a CGI and it's obnoxious, and the CGI is obnoxious. It's the Dobie effect, is what I call it.
Yeah,
I
it's
laughed
Jar Jar Binks.
out. Remember, Jar Jar Binks. Remember during Harry Potter when Dobie died with that big giant knife in his chest? Spoiler alert! I laughed out loud in theaters. Everybody was there. I laughed so loud in the theaters when that happened. And I wanted to yell, "Did it work? Did it?" Which is another funny thing. But I hate CGI. Like when they're trying to make you care about a character. The same thing goes here with this dog and the whole CGI thing. They should have gotten a real dog because that way the acting could have at least been the reason you hate the dog, not because obnoxious CGI. Double hates. They definitely have to fucking put a knife or a giant arrow through the chest of that fucking dog.
Yes, I hope they do it.
I'm okay.
And I don't
am
care
not
what
going to be
the
that guy.
audiences say. It stays in the movie this time.
Punch him, then stick an arrow in his chest.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm an animal guy. I like animals. I have some dogs. I love my dogs. I will talk crap all day long, but I love my dogs. Don't tell my daughter or my wife, but I'm even
Don't
cool
tell
with
my
the
dog.
cats.
Yeah.
But
Don't tell my dog, but I love that dog.
I am not
can't
going
do
to
that.
be that guy that's like, oh my goodness, they hit that dog in the movie. Oh dear, my girls,
My word.
I can't handle it.
Oh, my stars and garters. They punched that dog in the face.
I'm not going to be that guy, dude. Punch that dog. I'm okay. No,
beat
it
that
hurts
dog's
me.
ass.
Will have a visceral emotional response to it. It's kind of the point.
There's a
Like, that's
difference
what you're
between
trying to do with the movie.
beating like a dashhound or whatever versus what is that dog? What are those big ones? The Beethoven dog? What is that big ass dog called? Or Rottweilers versus like a poodle or Chihuahua.
Yeah.
You can't hit a Chihuahua. Right?
No,
It's like-
the hitting a chihuahua was okay. Now,
I
like a
mean,
golden, no.
I actually kind of agree with that, but you don't hit a Chihuahua. You like slap a
You
Chihuahua.
can hit a chihuahua.
Nah,
No, I want to
you
see.
bitch
I want to see
slap
a
a
chihuahua
chihuahua.
get punched the fuck out.
Now you bitch slap a Chihuahua, and he goes like,
No, if you introduce a character
they don't-
that's supposed to be having like powers and everything, and you can't let them take a punch in the whole
a
story,
superpowered
you just
dog.
created-
They
definitely.
shouldn't have. They shouldn't have
you
superpowers.
created a Mary Sue or a
Yeah.
Gary Stu. That's exactly what you just did.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like a
Can't
it's
touch
like
the dog.
Spider-Man's intro in Civil War, the movie. Like he's sitting there kicking
Mhm.
everybody's ass, but you can't actually let him take a physical punch from anybody.
He didn't take a physical punch from anybody.
He didn't. No, he got like drop kicked and stuff when things were going on. But to sit there and let another character actually like haul back and like
beat his
knock him.
ass. That's
Didn't
one of the
happen.
problems with that whole movie. There was only one actual like solid hit, and that was War Machine. And that was an accident.
through everything, I enjoyed all the stops that they took on their journey trying to find Krem. You know, always being
Yeah.
one step behind him
Yeah.
and missing him.
Yeah,
But then they finally come up on him, and before they can get the job done, Krem takes this like little thing called like the Mobius orb or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was a
and
cool
magically
sexual-
teleports Supergirl and Ruthie to another planet. And this planet, Supergirl recognized because Superman told her about this story where he was on this planet that's under a green sun, so it acts like kryptonite for him. And so for 45 minutes, Supergirl says that Superman said it was the most gut-wrenching, horrifying experience he's ever been through until the Justice League came in and like saved him from the planet, right? So Supergirl is sitting there without a way of escape because as they arrive, the sun is out and it's immediately affecting her, like depleting her health and her powers. So she can't do anything. She gets delirious for this time. So they have to wait 12 hours until this sun goes down before she can actually start recouping. And this is where you see Supergirl actually take a back seat to where Ruthie gets a little bit of limelight. I thought that was a nice little twist
that
right
was
there.
cool.
That was another callback that I saw there was, hey, Tom King actually did his research on some of the mythos behind the Kryptonians and Supergirl and Superman to put in these little Easter eggs. I thought that was cool.
See, I didn't catch any of the Easter eggs, but that's the planet where with all the dinosaurs and shit, right?
Right.
Yeah. That was the
So
panel
while
I was
you're
just
under
showing
the-
a minute ago.
So while you're under the green sun, you're also having to worry about these other dangers that are taking place on the planet, you know? Even though you're being weakened and killed slowly under this green sun, you also have to worry about these predators out there that are willing to eat you. And if you can't make it to water, you're going to die of dehydration. But I thought it was cool that Ruthie stuck by her side and actually was like trying to stand up to these, you know, prehistoric predators.
Yeah.
And you know,
that's pretty cool.
It's a little
artwork
girl.
too.
It's a little girl going against a monster. Yes, realistically, that's not going to work out the way it did in the
comic book.
But guess what?
Fun.
It's a comic book. It can go that way.
And it's fucking
And
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
dinosaurs are awesome. You're never gonna get me to, even though some of the there was like a panel or two that I was like, that looks like a Indominus Rex or something from the new Jurassic Park, but she's like taking care. She's like hovering over Supergirl and all that.
Yeah. So that was another cool little Easter egg that they threw that planet in there. And then
they had I was actually kind of curious about that. So they had a panel here. It was in the it was in Woman of Tomorrow number 6, page 22. And it was a black and white page, which I didn't understand why they decided to go black and white on that one.
Yes,
but
no, that was great.
But it was good. Like it worked. And she talks about, like, she was talking about in that how, so for one, she's riding this horse between, you know, which
the
Jake
horse's
explained it
name
to me, and it's a little weird.
Yeah, the horse's name is Comet. Oh yeah, this comes from Silver Age. This is how weird and crazy the stories were back then,
and disturbing.
So Comet was actually a man that Supergirl had befriended and had a relationship with, and he gets cursed to become a horse, right? So now in the Silver Age and everything, little you know, a little bit of a frown upon whether or not this is considered bestiality back then or not. But she would frolic with her horse. That was her boyfriend. And so I'm just saying this is what came about in back then. But they brought back that Easter egg of Comet. And yes, he's a magical horse. He's able to like race across space and time. But yes, that little magical orb, Krem had a second one and sent it after Supergirl, and that thing actually chased her to the end of time. So because she couldn't outrun it, Comet had to come in and race her to the very end of existence to escape it. And that's where the black and white took place. I thought that was just phenomenal sci-fi, old Silver Age action.
I do like the sci-fi stuff, and this page, it's like a couple of pages. They're running through space and all that shit. That does look pretty sweet, especially trippy pages.
That was a really cool Easter egg. I was actually proud of that. Anybody that didn't know who Comet was, I didn't know who Comet was. That came out of left field. What was that?
Yeah. And now I'm like, I really don't know what to think about Comet. Like at first it was just my thought was just like we were doing Tina from Bob's Burgers. She likes horses, and you know the girls like horses, and we're just gonna like have a horse that like, you know, girl wants a pony. Okay, Supergirl gets a pony. I didn't realize
Comet hasn't been around.
Pony.
Comet hasn't been in any stories for the longest time. He made like one appearance in one story like back in the early 2000s, I think, but before then he was erased from time.
I
for
like
decades.
that. I like it when somebody knows, like, goes back into the history of a character and brings back a character that's long forgotten.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
I agree.
happened in it happened recently in some other comics we can talk about another time. That I'm like, oh, I like what they did. That's pretty smart what they did with some old. That's cool. So they brought back Comet that nobody remembers. Like,
Right.
that's a cool twist. It makes you kind of want to go back and read the old stuff to see, like, oh, what was. I will say this though about Comet. And some pretty lips. Them got some pretty lips. You know
I
what
told
mean?
you he looked like a male model from Hollywood, man.
Yeah, and I'll actually prove it. Where's that panel I was showing you earlier?
They have a
That's one of the
gorgeous. I got to point this out. I apologize for interrupting, but I have to point this out. There is a panel with a gorgeous ass shot of that horse.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now because me and Jake were talking about this earlier. I was like, that's a chick's face.
Yeah.
Where the here it is. I got it right here, Jake. Here it is. I got it.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. Book 6, chapter page 16.
You talking about that
That's
one?
not the one I was talking about.
That's Comet. That's
Comet.
That's a beautiful horse. Look at him lips. Boy,
He does that pretty.
some pretty lips.
Yeah. This is Comet, and so that was her boyfriend from very old Silver Age stories.
I gotta say, when I saw this, I thought that was her for a second. Then I was like, wait a minute. That's a chin. That's not her chin. Like, there's no way the artist. And then I'm like, oh wait, she's right here.
But doesn't that play into like a girl's story, like Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Beast, and then at the end when he turns back into a human, he's this very, I don't want to say feminine looking man, but
he's
a very
Robert Pattinson. It's Twilight. It's
kept together man, very beautiful type guy.
You'd almost think that was a girl, except those aren't boobies.
No, this is like a blonde Tom Welling back from his Abercrombie and Fitch days.
Okay, can I share my screen for a moment here?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just want to share one little thing in addition to this? There's one other shot of Comet here. That was the other one that I was. So
okay.
This is the same.
That's
this is the
one
same.
you were talking about.
That's the one. So this is the same.
I like the shot. That's a cool shot. I don't know about that horse though.
It won't let me zoom in anymore. I don't know.
The legs
why.
are too short or something. It's like a dwarf horse.
But so just clarification: the gentleman, the effeminate gentleman from the previous panel, that's his ass.
That is a nice horse's ass.
That's all I got to say about that. Okay.
Where's his balls?
So
all right, that was actually a pretty cool panel, cool coloring. I like the epic journey, right? But as an artist looking at stuff like that, I gotta critique the legs, those little dumpy legs, and you see
on
it?
the horse? Are you talking about the horse?
Yeah, look at those legs and say that's not.
I already
dumpy
backed
legs.
out. I've looked that picture over more than I care to look over now.
There's a lot of really good art, but man, I've got to like critique some of the things I don't like about some of the artwork. Some of the artwork. I love most of the artwork.
So okay, can we talk
80%
about that for
of
just
the
a second?
artwork I really like, but there are things that
I
really
actually
stand out.
This. There are some flaws.
Yeah. Like that stand out to the point where it's like they need to be called out because the rest of it's so good that it's like, oh, what happened? Like, how did that happen?
I want to share something, Peter. On I'm going to share my screen one more time here.
And I think this is one of my favorite colorists, to be honest.
So this is something that stands out to me a lot here.
Oh, Jake, are you going for the corner of the head? I was explaining this to Jake earlier before you got on.
She has a bald spot. She's got this like strange thing here.
Yeah. I was explaining,
but this one in particular, this part that they have on her all the time, this is a bald spot.
No. It's a trick of the eye. It's right there. She's missing part of her head. It's not that it's a bald spot. It's that her head is missing. That the side of her head needs to go up.
They kind of contorted it.
That gap. There's a gap with the hairline. Her head is missing. There's like it's like the way that artist draws the profile of a head. It's like missing the top part of the head, like the top corners of the head or something. Like, and I know it's supposed to kind of be an upshot, but it's not because this artist can't handle upshots, downshots.
No,
like
because he does it in a lot of different shots. It's not like it's just the one.
Yeah, but it also doesn't look the same consistently across the entire series. Anytime he gets a little creative with the angles of the face, he fails, or she fails. Whoever the artist is fails when it comes to angles. They don't know how to draw a face from different angles, which is fine. It's like if he wants to do an artistic approach and do some weird artistic things, but man, like right there, like the head. If you look, there's like a piece of the top of the head that's missing proportionally. Like the top half of your head is like half your head, right?
Yeah, right.
And here it's like a third or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's like missing. Now that doesn't look actually as bad, right there.
I kind of feel it does. I still feel like it's not because
it's not great.
There's so much face here. It's like you said. There's so much face here compared to what's up
her
here.
neck is the problem with this image. Her neck is so wide. It goes all the way from ear to ear, like that's a dude's neck right there. Women have more like petite necks. Now she's tough, she's muscular, so it kind of works.
Nah, that's beer neck right there. That's turkey.
But that's
some turkey left over from the saloon.
She's got a little 5 o'clock shadow in there.
Oh, that's weird looking neck. Not to mention, like, okay, so look, that neck is a lot thinner than if you go back to that other panel. It's real thick neck.
Yeah,
that neck is like a turkey neck, like you were saying.
Yeah, the neck went up into her jawline in the other panel.
That's a rough neck.
Yeah, that's a big jawline.
There's a lot to be said about the artwork because if you look at everything else, it's awesome. But when it comes to her face, man, it's rough. There are panels that I really like, and then there are panels that I really don't like.
There's just some that are a little bit hard. Like you said, there's a lot of good in here, but man, the stuff like
the colorist has to come in frequently to save the day with some of this artwork.
And
like that's I like that.
Fantastic job on little things.
Yeah, I like that. The expression on these panels right here, great. Yeah. I love all three of them. I don't know about that girl's mouth in the middle though.
By the way, throughout this whole book, you think there'd be more bickering between two women than there actually was in the book.
Well, you know, Xena the Warrior Princess got to a point where she had, you know how like her companion, that blonde girl, she was like a writer, right? Well, there's like one really funny episode where like Xena, like their companionship got a little strange. And so there's this one episode where it talked about like the downsides, and there was like an episode. Okay, that episode, Xena takes that girl's scrolls that she writes with, and then like was taking a shit in the woods, and then Xena wipes her ass with that girl's scrolls. And that girl was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would have liked to seen more of that kind of dynamic in this.
I didn't know Xena did that. Oh my God.
Look it up, dude.
I love her to death too. That actress is
Lucy
really
Lawless
cool.
is awesome.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless. That
was a hilarious I'm a fan of Xena.
She wiped her ass.
And I really like it. Yes. The girl's always writing in her fucking scrolls or whatever, her journal, and Xena was literally wiping her ass with the pages. And the girl's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I didn't have any paper.
I didn't have. Yeah, she's like, I didn't have anything else, and she's like, that I wrote like that's my heart and soul. You're wiping your ass with. It was really fucking funny, man.
We come up to the end of the book, right? And
Yeah, I can
they
pull that up.
finally meet up with Krim. Well, what happens is Supergirl, Krim lets it be known that his pirate band is going to be coming looking for him. So what Supergirl do? She flies off and she deals with pirates up there in space and leaves Comet and Ruthie there with Krim tied up on the island. And so Krim is gagged, and Ruthie decides to ungag him because she wants some last words with him. So what happens? Supergirl is getting her butt kicked against these pirates up in space because they have kryptonite as weapons and as weaponry up there. They've learned about Supergirl, learned that she's coming upon them with this girl Ruthie, and so they need some firepower to take out a Kryptonian. They learned about kryptonite, so they got some. And so she's up there getting pummeled left and right. It's not explicitly stated until like later in the book. It's just shown, right? That Supergirl is saying, no, don't do it. Please, just hold off. No, not yet. Don't come. Stay. And the pirates are suddenly looking at her like, what is she talking about? Across space, down to the planet, Comet can hear what's going on up at the pirate ship in space. And Supergirl can hear back that Comet is wanting to come up there and help kick some butt and save her. And so Ruthie, now somehow being able to understand what's going on with Comet, says, go fly up to Supergirl. I swear, I won't touch Krim. I won't do anything. And, you know, because of how they give expressions to the animals in this book, like we saw with Crypto, you can see Comet kind of eyeballing Ruthie like, are you sure you're not going to do anything? Because I really do need to go up there and help out Supergirl. And so Ruthie has to talk Comet into going up there to help Supergirl. So Comet finally flies off to go help Supergirl. And then Ruthie's like, all right, this guy's mine. And so she unties Krim and is ready to fight him. And he's like, wait a minute, you have a sword. How is that fair? I'm barehanded. And Ruthie's like, yeah, you're right. I'm not like you. My father was unarmed while you slit his throat. So
this is the beginning of the story.
Throws down the sword in the middle of them. They both run after the sword. Krim jumps, leaps into the air to grab the sword, and Ruthie just kicks him right in the face. Like, so they just have to back and forth for a little bit. Yeah, that was pretty sick. But again, it's a comic book, so yes, a little girl can kick a full-grown man's ass, just like Robin.
In a comic book for women,
ass. Just like Damian Wayne can kick the Court of Owls ass. It's comic book, people.
If Damian Wayne can do it, a girl.
If Damian Wayne's allowed to do it, I will let a little girl who's just an off character.
Well, also, if you look at the way they lay out that panel for the portion of this, it's like the way they lay it out is they've got it like right in the middle. They've got them like centered out on the page.
It's a beautiful shot.
And then they have the next panel, and they split up the panels with the stuff that Supergirl's doing, so you don't see this panel for panel. But they have like the panel where they're standing there separated, and then they both go for it. And he's closer. He's jumping for it. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, he's definitely going to get it. And then they have like this other thing going on. And then same panel, but she's like, she didn't even go for it. She just like went straight to like kick him in the mouth.
Yeah.
Is this it,
like, screw the sword. I'm getting one in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a great shot. So it goes back and forth between what's going on up in space with the pirates and what's going on with Krim and Ruthie. And I think it's a really good action sequence for both of them. I thought it was beautiful colors on an island here next to the ocean.
I love the colors,
the yellow, purple, and pinks and stuff. Comic and
like I said earlier, you cannot deny the beauty of this book.
No,
the colors,
and the art is good. The colors, I think, the colorist is the hero of this book. Like as far as artwork goes,
there are some times where
the art's
really
pretty good, but man, that the colorist is who totally made this book.
So at the end of this book is when Supergirl comes back, and she is beaten, battered, and bruised. Even her outfit has finally tethered and weathered and been torn apart from the battle up there with the pirates.
Is that right here? That's why
And
she has
so-
that weird suit at the end of the book. I was kind of thinking of why the hell does she have that weird suit?
So you see that they defeat Krem, and Ruthie is still wanting to kill him, but Supergirl's like, "No, give me the sword, I'll do it." And there's this whole thing of where Ruthie's getting ready to go slit his throat with the sword, the same sword that Krem had slain her father with. So she
That was
wasn't
a
wanting to
couple
forgive
pages
him.
back.
So Supergirl, after everything, takes the sword away from Ruthie and says, "I'm gonna do it." But she's like, "But I want you to know, I thought I had like helped you learn better. I thought I showed you to do better through everything that we've been through, of saving other people, trying to do what's better, even though your heart wants a different thing. I thought I showed you how to let things go and how to rise above them. And apparently I failed," is basically what she says to Ruthie. So she gets ready to slice Krem's throat in place of Ruthie. But honestly, I really don't think that Supergirl was going to do it. I think that she just wanted to get that narration out to Ruthie to see if she was really wanting her to go through with it. I don't think Supergirl was really wanting to slay him either. Well, I think she wanted to, but I think she was like, not going to because it's Supergirl. But I really think that whole moment was just to like see if Ruthie really wanted to go down that path of killing Krem. But, better heads prevail, and they just banish him to the Phantom Zone. Another Easter egg that came in from Superman lore.
And look who's back.
Yeah.
Get in
So
on that
years
face.
passed, right? In the Phantom Zone, Krem has laid there for 300 years, right? He's been reformed. He's thought about his actions. He hates what he had done. And so at this time, Supergirl is letting him out of the Phantom Zone in front of Ruthie. And he actually comes out and says, is time up? Oh, thank God. I am so sorry for what I did. He apologizes to Ruthie wholeheartedly. He has totally abandoned the person that he was and become somebody else. You can see how he begs with Supergirl. You can see how he apologizes to Ruthie. And then the controversial ending. Now, this is what I think happened. I think that blow right there was a killing blow because you see all that blood splatter right there.
There's
And
some
then as
teeth
you
in
go
there.
down the page for these 4 panels, you see Ruthie strike him. You see him lay there, like look at the blood on his face. You go down. He holds his face as everybody walks away from him. And then in the last panel, he just lays there. And I'm guessing because it's silhouette, it's lifeless. I feel like after all this time,
I don't think he's
he's dead. I think he died.
He's not crying.
Now hold on a second. Now Jake says killing blow because we're gonna debate this here.
All right.
Killing
That's the
blow,
topic of
lots
conversation
of
on this.
blood, lots of disgust. Like because this is actually a debate that's happening over this page. Killing blow because look at all the shit coming out of him.
All right.
And then
Also, he's old.
he's old.
Yes.
And so he's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Oh, I fucked up. And then I'm dead. Pretty believable.
There's no sound effect. There's no dialogue bubble that says, I think this was a killing blow.
Now, hold on. I actually, Jake, I have a little bit of extra to justify. I don't think it's a killing blow.
Okay,
I think this is an exaggerated crack, smack, kapow kind of a thing. I think that artistically, I think this is just an expression to show that this was a very powerful blow. I don't think this is actual shit. I think that's partially movement of the stick, and then a little bit of like dots to show this is like a powerful crack, but not like an end of the world. I think right here he's like, oh God, I guess I had that come in. And he's like, because I was such a piece of shit over here in his head, he's got his hands on his head, and he's just like, I'm just gonna sit here and think about this for a bit, right? That's what I think's happening. Right? I don't think he's dead. Now, right here, no sun. The sun is rising, okay, on a new day, okay? I'm going to go backwards in time to the very first page of the very first book, where he killed the father as the sun set, okay? He kills that girl's father. He's dead on that hill. The sun sets. The man is dead. I think this is a foreshadowing and opposite reaction. As the sun rises, everyone's walking. He walks away from the dead body as the little girl runs up to the dead body. Yep. On that last page, everybody walks away from him as he sits there to ponder a little bit longer than about what he's done as the sun rises. I don't think he's dead.
I think the end. Well, you go ahead, Stanley. I've spoken enough.
I'm sorry. I have. So, Peter, that was exceptionally eloquent. I love your callback to that very first panel. I love that you brought it back. I love that you saw that they were doing with this. However, you were absolutely wrong on this. So in this panel right here, this is a representation of the sun setting on somebody. This is the sun setting being a visual representation of death. Whereas at the very end of the book, when we see the sun rising, that sun rising is a representation of new life, the new life that they get to live because they finally killed this dude. And you know that they killed him because... not because of this last page, but because the page before it. When you go into it, they're showing this page right here. So imagine this scene. Think about this. Ruthie is old. Krem is old. They are finally going back here. Play this scene out in your head. The decades have gone by. Okay.
Hundreds of years for him.
Hundreds of years for him, but also Ruthie's old. So I don't care how old he is. I care about how old Ruthie is. That's the important thing on this. And even Supergirl has gone in, like, she has aged to the point where she decided not to have cute hair. And they go to they decide, play this out. Think about it. Supergirl's hanging out. She's doing all this stuff. She's getting different haircuts. She's got these different outfits being made. She's going around. You know, she had her battle out with like trench coats and Superman, and the dog's not around anymore. And Ruthie comes up. She's like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we went on this whole killing spree a while back. She's like, oh, yeah, no, I totally remember you, Ruthie. You're, old now. And, Ruthie's like, yeah, you're looking really great for your age. That is fantastic, Supergirl. She's like, hey, you remember how we banished Krem? Yeah, I remember how we banished Krem. So let's go do something about it. Now, when they get to this conversation, at this point in the conversation, this is the crux of the entire thing right here. All jokes aside, the crux of the conversation is that these two got back together after decades at least, and they're like, okay, we need to finish off this thing with Krem. Are they going to go over there? There's two options.
The guys already repented.
To this universe to go over there and be like, okay, we're going to slap him and walk away. That's it. Slap him, walk away. Or they're like, okay, it's time to put him out of his misery.
No. The guy spent hundreds of years repenting. Now he's like begging forgiveness after he's been through way worse.
Ultimate forgiveness.
And that's not forgiveness. That's just a vindictiveness of an evil bitch. Fucking killing him.
Maybe. No. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. And that's the real conversation.
That's the argument. Because that makes Supergirl.
Is she?
No, that makes Supergirl and this other girl villains. If they brought him out of 300 years of Phantom Zone and he's completely changed and now he's begging forgiveness, and then they kill him, They're the bad guys.
That's the point. That's kind of the point here. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I don't think they are, because
I don't really like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but that's also your typical. That's exactly on par with Tom King and the whole feminist idea.
The alternate option on this story, because there's not an option. The third option would be, okay, we're going to get together. We're going to go back over here. We're going to go to Krem, and you know what? He's served his time. I'm going to slap the shit out of that motherfucker.
Yeah,
and then we're going to walk away, and then we're going to go ahead and bring him back. We'll come back.
After we'll come back when we're all old, we'll bring him back.
I just want to get in one good lick. That's
and kill him.
What happened.
No, she killed him.
Killed him.
You know what? That is on par with your 2020s feminist fucking propaganda comic book to let him suffer for a couple hundred years before you kill him. When you're old and you're about to die, might as well kill him now, I guess, before I die. Like, that's your typical bullshit. But I don't think this story is that nihilistic and shitty. I think this is actually a pretty good story.
I don't want it to be. I don't, because
that's why I don't think they killed him
until this panel.
Which is why I think, just like the antithesis of the first page, he's only got a couple more days or weeks or years left. He's not going to live forever. But everybody got their licks in, even after he repented, getting one last fucking blow, and then everybody can go about their business. He's back, and we're all reset. And it's like an episode of The Simpsons. We're all done with this episode, and we can start over again in the next episode.
If there are any women who have read this, who have watched this video, this whole thing that we've talked about with Supergirl, very curious your opinion. If you had gone through this whole thing right now, I would love to know your mindset. Did Supergirl and Ruthie just walk up and slap the fuck out of that guy and then walk away and let him live?
After releasing him from prison after 300 years.
Or did they just decide, you know what, it's time to put this guy out of his misery and we're going to go kill him?
I will say, after reading the book, or as much as I've read so far, that trailer definitely hits different. And I appreciate it way more. Like, I actually am more excited to watch this movie now. I actually was curious. I'm excited to watch the movie. But seeing how obviously they're pulling from this story a lot of stuff, I am way more interested in seeing this movie than I was the Superman movie.
Oh, 100%. And I think that was actually, I think that was the whole purpose of the new Supergirl movie, because as much as people want to say that, 2017, pushing for women and all that stuff is over. No, it's still alive and well. And Supergirl shows it just because of the fact that Crypto peed on Superman's picture on the newspaper. I think that and Supergirl sitting at the bar saying it's not a very high bar to, prove yourself over. I think that was also another reference to the Superman film. But
so is this the Supergirl movie take place after the Superman movie, or is this supposed to be a prequel?
Yeah, I thought it was a prequel.
I think this takes place after.
I thought it was supposed to be a prequel, but then but now I'm thinking it takes place after the Superman movie. Like
right.
We had talked about it before, where like the end of this Supergirl movie would be the her walking into the Superman lair, right? Like the end of the Superman movie, right? But I actually think Supergirl is taking place after, because that's her story, her character arc. And at the end of Superman, she's drunk, so she hasn't had her story, her character arc yet. So
so she gets better and she's not a drunk at the end of the movie.
She can't be a drunk at the end of the Supergirl movie.
That's what I was afraid. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I was kind of afraid that was going to be a little bit of a trope for the character.
So she goes through the whole movie as a drunk, and she doesn't learn a damn thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's kind of where I thought about it.
That's what people are thinking from the end credit scene of Superman.
Well, one thing that really stood out to me between the comic and the trailer, now having watched the trailer after having read the comic, was they had that line of dialogue that's Krypton didn't die in a day. And that was so much more impactful in the comic book. Like, they tried to adapt it over to this trailer. And man, in the comic, when she says that, like, that could have been a poster to hang on the wall. And when she says it in the trailer. It's cool. Like, it's just not as impactful. Not that it's bad. But
now think about it. After they give the context in the movie, that scene might have a little bit more gravitas.
You're right.
You're
right. It might. It did in the book.
Because in the comic, they explain the whole thing of Argo City with Supergirl and everything, and how she was put in a vessel by her father to be sent off, to Earth and whatever. Now, when it comes to the trailer, there's a lot of things I like. There are a couple things I don't like. I like how it panned across her bedroom with Crypto from the record player to her in her bed. I thought that was very reminiscent of Back to the Future intro with Doc's office.
Definitely.
I thought that was a good shot. It let us know exactly what was kind of being laid out for the character of Supergirl. I did not like Crypto peeing on Superman's picture, but I got why they did it, because they're saying that this is going to be better than that, and they think Supergirl is better than Superman. My humble opinion, that's what they're trying to say.
Oh, yeah. That is a way of them saying that they like Supergirl more than Superman.
Yeah. And then when she's waiting at the bus stop for the spaceship, I think that's a reference to them getting on the spaceship with Ruthie when they get ready to go out and go look for Krem.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the same kind of bus stop thing that they were doing for the film, even though it doesn't look at all like what took place in the comic book. I do not like that they traded out the high fantasy aspect of it for like a grungy Guardians of the Galaxy.
They had to make it fit.
Facebook. No, they could have gone with the high fantasy.
Knows.
Oh, I'm not saying they couldn't have, but they
style.
wanted it to. You got Superman. Superman is the baseline for everything DC and every
but this
other
is James
has
Gunn.
to align.
James Gunn does one thing pretty good.
We had these like 14th century style high fantasy settings in the book. I would have much preferred that for the movie rather than this.
But this is James Gunniverse, and James Gunn does do a pretty good job with that aesthetic, that style that he's got established, and this does kind of fit that and could make it cool to a modern audience, right? That is not familiar with this comic book or anything. I personally was not thrilled about the Superman movie. I didn't dislike it, but it was meh, take it or leave it. I could see how Gunn might. It was good enough, but I wouldn't call it good. It was, but
it's the best
this
Superman
has
movie
potential.
In the last 20 years. I know that's a weird stat, but
Man of Steel. I liked Man of Steel.
Man of Steel was good. I like Man of Steel. I even like the new Superman. They both had good and bad aspects to them.
Yeah.
But this definitely has more depth to it. Like, you can tell Gunn is a bigger fan of this than he is Superman, which is why he didn't give a shit about Superman, and he gives more of a shit about this. You can see it in the trailer alone.
It's James Gunn. He gets to hang out with a young chick. Go figure.
Yeah, right. And I do like that actress that's playing Supergirl more than the depiction of Supergirl in this comic book.
Yeah, so
I don't dislike this Supergirl depiction.
I like
but
that they didn't put an indentation in her head, right there.
That she actually has her top of her head. And
I'm messing with you, Miss Evely.
I like that she's doing the tragic, hero's journey kind of thing.
I like that we get to actually see Argo City take place. I think that was something that was missing from Supergirl 41 years ago with Helen Slater. And I honestly think it was missing from Supergirl, the TV series with Melissa Benoist.
Definitely. I don't think they weren't thinking about any of that shit when they made that show.
No, because they were just doing derivatives of Superman. This actually lets Supergirl stand on her own. For those that complain about derivatives of legacy characters, she's a legacy character that's being taken in a different direction, and I really enjoy what they're doing.
As far as the Supergirl movie goes, I like the direction they're taking more because of the idea that this comic book is not a Supergirl, it's a Supergirl adventure. But no, it's that girl's adventure with Supergirl, right? That's what the whole story is about. It's about I knew this Supergirl once kind of a story. This is the Supergirl movie isn't about her, it's about Supergirl. So the context of the film has to be completely different because this story is not
That's true.
It's a story about the girl's adventure with Supergirl. That's why Supergirl is still young when at the end of the book and she's all old. She's like, I once knew a Supergirl. Let me tell you, grandkids.
It's like their alien race ages over like 13 days.
I see more Woman of Tomorrow and Supergirl than I did All-Star Superman and James Gunn's Superman.
Ooh, well said. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
Which
and
is
I'm
why
looking more forward to this movie, Supergirl. I'm actually looking forward to this movie for not just Lobo, but for the actual Supergirl aspect of the story.
Yeah.
I want to see this movie now. Having read this book, this was a very good book. I have some critiques on a few little things that I could go on about, but it's just like nitpicky shit. Ultimately, this book was really good, like really well done. It's not a DC, particularly DC fan. I'm a fan of comic books, and that's DC and everything. I've never really been a Supergirl fan, but now I am. I think this is a really good story, and I could keep reading more.
Too many people are shitting on Tom King when the only thing that they've ever read is the bad take that he had in Batman. And even those people that are complaining about the Batman thing probably didn't read it, or just riding the coattails of people that actually read the book.
What did he say about Batman?
Actual Tom, he had some bad take with Catwoman and Batman and Tom in one of the Batman runs.
That's it.
And so everybody's complaining about Tom King. If you read Woman of Tomorrow, you will know that Tom King is a great writer. All right. He was also co-writer of Grayson for Dick Grayson's series of Grayson, where he's an agent. Guess what? Tom King was an agent. He was an operative. So Grayson, he was a consultant with Tim Seeley writing Grayson. So he helped create that Grayson arc for him. And then there are so many other things Tom King's worked on that I'm going to read to see if he's actually as bad as people say he is, which I think people are just full of shit.
You know what it is?
People know how to
a lot of that.
People know
Tom King had a Twitter account, and that's the problem.
People know how to lean into negativity more than to do positivity, and I dislike that
definitely
to the nth degree. Tom King is a great writer if you actually read his stuff.
It's a good story. I don't know if I would call this great, but I think it was good.
It was good.
It was fun. And the artwork definitely was good, but the colors definitely carried the artwork a long way.
I am very curious to see Ruthie in the movie. Like, when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, Supergirl. We got this girl from Game of Thrones. All right, cool. Superman movie was good. I'm
little kid. Yeah, I was like, oh, great.
Having read this, I'm like, all right, I want to see Ruthie. Show me what's up.
Yeah.
See, for me,
and it's to be a different dynamic. It's going to be a Supergirl dynamic and not the Ruthie's dynamic. So that'll be fun to watch.
We're going to see if he dies.
I think it's going to be better than Superman, which I already know that for me, I already knew James Gunn was putting all of his chips in Supergirl. I still feel like they're trying to ride the female hype train that they tried to give to Captain Marvel. I think they're giving it to Supergirl here, which
maybe they'll do it right this time because fuck Captain Marvel.
But you cannot. Anybody that has the epiphany or tries to act like they came up with the idea that Tom King just, did True Grit with Supergirl, guess what? You're not some genius that put that together. Tom King said in his own interview that it was inspired by True Grit. So quit acting like you came up with this idea of it's just like True Grit. All right? Tom King said
people complaining about this Supergirl trailer clearly haven't read the comic book, or people complaining about this comic book and the things like I complain about shit that obviously I can point out and call out, but on the same note, I can call out things that I like about this comic book.
Yeah.
But you can tell if you've read this book, you can tell somebody who has not read this book. And when you read it, you're like, oh, that's obviously the Supergirl movie is based heavily on this book. And
100%.
yeah, it's obvious. And actually, it makes you excited to go see this movie. But people who are like, it's like, oh man, it's like I'm tired of people calling out movies are allowed to be good again. Okay. Yeah. We can get back to making good movies. Not everything has to be garbage anymore. They are making good stuff, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't even care to say that
with the girl in it.
I don't even care to say that they actually might course correct with Supergirl.
Maybe.
I think I can say that after reading the book and seeing the trailer.
Ripley. We had Fifth Element. We've had a lot of really awesome chicks in movies. We can get back 100%. To that. Not everything has to be a Mary Sue
train of after 2017 where you can't have girl bosses in movies. All right, so there's no more Tomb Raider. There's no more Alien.
Well, let's just wait a minute. Let's let them make a good Tomb Raider first.
It doesn't matter.
They got to do a good job first.
You don't get Tomb Raider
don't do a bad job.
You don't get Wonder Woman anymore because it's a girl boss. You don't get Resident Evil anymore because it's a girl boss. Shut up.
No, that's
girl boss issue.
Now hold on a minute.